My name is Nerea Gibson. I am 31 years young, and I currently reside in Gaithersburg, Maryland, and I'm an associate scientist working in the pharmaceutical industry. I guess you could call me an American Trini. My parents moved here from Trinidad and Tobago, and so my sister and I were born in DC, and we've been in Maryland for the most part ever since. Growing up, I was, really into art and creativity, and I just always had a want to create something different in terms of my style, clothing, what have you. I just wanted something unique that I couldn't find in the store, so I would always try to make things. Sometimes they didn't come out right, but do my best to create something unique for my style. I never thought of it as fashion design. I just thought, I want to make something new and creative for myself, and never thought of it as something as a career. But what I did consider was becoming a pediatrician. That was like a huge goal of mine growing up. So, once I got to college and I found out how long it would take for me to become a pediatrician, I thought I need to have another plan. No, but I ended up finding this major in biotechnology, and it was cool because I would still be able to be involved in the medical realm or field, but it was so broad that you could focus on so many different things like biology, chemistry, physics, engineering, whatever, and you could just do so many things with that degree. So I ended up getting my bachelor's in that and a master's, and so it's been really cool just being involved in drug discovery, understanding the body, understanding disease mechanisms and so forth. So I'm always learning, something I really enjoy. Over the last couple of years, I felt the need just to get back into sewing and design. And although I don't have formal training, I've read books. I've taken a few classes, sewing classes at a local fabric store, and even took a couture class at a Baltimore academy called MACA, which was pretty cool. And it's definitely been a struggle because, juggling being a mom of a 10-year-old who's involved in sports, also, having a full-time job and moonlighting as a designer is pretty hectic, but, this is very therapeutic for me. Currently, I've created a brand, Aeren Waters. And pretty much, what I wanted to emanate with this line, revolution by design. I wanted to convey, the things that I produce, I sell, is something that people, definitely want in their wardrobe for their style or whatnot. So I try to think of something that we all need, which is Aeren Water, and so that's where I came up with Aeren Waters. And Aeren is actually my name spelled backwards. And so right now, I sell accessories on Etsy, clutches, totes, men's wallets. And my totes are, I call it the glorified tote collection. And I did that because I know that totes can be pretty drab and dull and boring, and I wanted something where, you would want to carry your tote, not just for errands, but to show off, so I use a lot of mixture of fabrics and colors and so forth. Just to give them a snazz appeal. I love saying snazz, but just to give them, a pop, in terms of, style, so you want to show them off. My clutches, I actually started making these with oilcloth and vinyl, and, when I started making them, a lot of folks would say, oh, that reminds me of my grandmother's kitchen table and so forth, just with the colors and the look of it. So I decided to call the collection Meme Adore, which is grandmother love. And the pieces in there are named after my grandmothers, Daphne and Emmy. I also have men's wallets, more to come. I'm still working on those, but I didn't want to forget the guys. And in doing all of these pieces, no matter if it's the totes, the clutches, the wallets, I always like to add, just different, not only different colors, but just textures and materials. And even with my linings and stitchings, I pay attention to that, and I want them to have a lot of colors, so when you open it up, you're surprised, like you're pleasantly surprised, like you think it's like a gift every time you open it up. And that's cool, like when you have something, you wanna cherish it, you wanna be proud that you have it, that you own it, and that's what I want people to get from the products that I produce, what I sell. Okay, so the garments I did make for the audition, one was a white halter dress, and this was like one of my first pieces that I ever made. I love halter dresses in that they really fit well on many different body types, and I love white, always looks good. I think it looks good on anybody. So I had a white halter dress where I added like a black, white and yellow tail on the back just to, you know, give it a little, just, I don't know, what's the word to say? Just give it a different look. Like it'll be a surprise when the model turns around. Another piece I made was a bat wing ombre top. It's a blue top with the ombre pattern, and I actually made that for an art showcase that I was recently in. And I really love the bat wing style. I think that just really flows well on the body. And I actually have another bat wing top that I made. It's a gray one. And this one I was actually making for a friend because she saw my blue top and asked me if I could make one for her as well. And even though these are similar pieces, I really wanted to showcase the gray one just because it allowed me an opportunity to tailor something to someone else besides myself or a mannequin. Another piece that I made was a bandeau top, and I know that's seen a lot in swimwear, and I just wanted to bring it to the streets. I really like the colors, the browns and the oranges and so forth, and I decided to add like a chain that would you know, come down the stomach. I mean, you could either do it around your neck if you wanted to, but I just wanted something different, like some metal incorporated into the piece. And lastly, I created a cape. It's an asymmetrical cape, and I actually made this out of an old lab coat that I had. I reconstructed it, and the collar has like glow-in-the-dark fabric. And the reason why I did this, I kind of guess I thought like mad scientist-y. I added the glow-in-the-dark just to give that radioactive nuclear look. A lot of times when people find out I'm a scientist, they just think of the craziest things that I do. Do you like blow up things? What do you make in the lab? You know, so I just thought this piece would kind of you know, identify with what I do, you know. Fashion means art. Art is a rejuvenator. Art is something that evokes emotions in people. And, you know, when it comes to clothing, whether or not you chose your outfit this morning or whether or not, you know, clothing is a luxury for you, it does send a message to people that see you. And that's really powerful, that your clothing can evoke emotions and you can express yourself in that way. And so I like it, the fashion, because, you know, I can make things that express where I can express my creativity, but also for those who wear something I make or want to use something that I make, you know, that in itself, they can express themselves with those pieces as well. Fashion Star, I thought the show had a really cool concept, and in talking to other people, they mimic the same sentiment. Like, how cool is it that you see these designs on TV and the next day that you can purchase it? Like, you feel like it's in your reach. And I think it's great for both the designer and the public, because the designer always wants their stuff out on the street. Like, they want people to wear their things, you know, for them to be recognized. And people also want to be able to purchase things that they may see in magazines or on the runway. So I think this is a great opportunity. It's kind of like the best of both worlds, and for designers, like hearing your favorite song on the radio. That's the type of thing I think of with Fashion Star. Well, I graciously accept this honor. Thank you very much. But that is a good question. Before I answer it, I just want to say that you know, the designer that I do admire, I should say admired and still admire, is Alexander McQueen. I liked his vision. I liked how he incorporated, tried to incorporate nature into his designs. I feel like, you know, nature in itself is beautiful. It's effortless. It doesn't try, it just is. And I feel like, you know, I try to do the same thing with my designs. I don't want to force anything. It just comes to be. And I want people, when they see my creations, that it speaks to them and it's captivating. I feel like, you know, as the fashion star, that's what will happen. My designs will emanate, you know, resonate with people, I should say, resonate with people and captivate them.